Ladies and gentlemen, we have game number 3. Well, actually, like not game number 3. We have the start of the next best of 3 series. That makes it a little bit more sense. There's a 3 in there as well, talking about numbers. Naventic going up against Blaze now. And this game is going to determine who ends up third place in the tournament and who ends up second, well, not necessarily second place, but who gets a chance in the grand final to play against Cloud9. So we are already in the top 3. This is the loser bracket final. I guess actually, like, if you are completely specific about it, it's the consolation final, and the last game was the loser bracket final. There's always a bit of like a discussion of what to call these things, or it's always a little bit confusing. But in this case right now, we're having, that's the bottom line, Naventic facing off against Blaze, and the winner goes up in the best of 5 series at the grand final against Cloud9. So in Sky Temple, again, a map that Naventic has already played a couple of times. They ban out Muradin first of all against Blaze, and Blaze has played some incredible games. And this is a rematch, actually. Blaze against Naventic was a match that we've seen in the winner bracket, and Blaze was able to take it. Naventic wasn't really happy about that. They didn't even take a map against their opponents there. And for now, we have Blaze with the ban on Liming and an early pick on Falstad. So the mobility on the map, something that they prioritize highly enough to really just put this in play. For Naventic,
You are not
JR, thank you very much for the sub, my friend. Thank you for that. For Naventic, we have currently a situation where they kind of have to think a little bit about how they are going to approach this. Since Zul is, for example, a choice that, oh wow, that's a very early ETC. If they go for that again, then ETC, we could, yeah, Thrall would be a bit more like it. ETC would be a commitment for sure. I mean, Thrall ETC could be played as a start, but Thrall Zul is now being locked down. Okay, so they have a Thrall and they have a Zul. And, well, in this case now, ETC is still around, so is Johanna, so is Stitches. The 3 top tanks after Muradin is banned. But yeah, that opening makes a bit more sense. I was about to say that Naventic has to think about how they want to approach this here with Zul still available, and they actually decide that this time they want to pick him. So for Team Blaze, it's a bit of a different story. Falstad probably going to go into a Gathering Storm build on level 1. But what they still need, they can go for a healer, so it's a question, Rhaegar yes, Rhaegar no. We have seen a variety of healers actually in North American meta right now, but Rhaegar is still definitely one of the top healers in the game. We've seen a lot of Uthers, we've seen a couple of approaches in double heal compositions with Tassadar, Tassadar Brightwing, Tassadar Tyrande has been played several times. And Blaze can now, for example, think about also like a Sonya. I mean, it's likely that Sonya is going to be picked a bit later, if she's picked at all. But against the Thrall, a lot of teams have started to, on the North American server, it's actually already pretty common on Europe, to go for Sonya against Thrall, because it's like just these 2 bruiser-type heroes clashing against each other, and it's a nice buffer for your backline, if you have 2 frontliners in this case. The meta overall is leaning a little bit more to having a solo frontliner again. And Blaze is actually also thinking about that ETC. They already know that Naventic is, of course, in like a position where they might have picked him because Muradin is already banned out, but ETC Tyrande. Okay, so going for lockdown. It's actually like a pretty cool start. Of course, you still, like, you kind of disregard a couple of the picks that can be taken right now, but you start in this case with a very strong setup. And the one thing that Naventic needs right now is they need a bit of stun. They have, of course, Thrall that can use the Sundering. The problem is if he's already caught in the mosh pit, then you are in a lot of trouble. And in the early game with the Tyrande ETC combo, you have a very strong rotation happening between mostly the top and the mid lane, where you can try to lock targets down, get a couple of early kills, and maybe snowball that into a talent lead once that we're going for the second temple at the bot lane. Especially if you get a really amazing early game and you hit the level 10 at that time, then you can snowball it from there and really force the opponent into a defensive stance on the map, and that is going to be amazing for you. But we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves here. What Naventic still needs, okay, so they're going for a banner at Tassadar with a Tyrande taken as a support. Makes sense. As I said before, the top supports that we're currently seeing here are definitely Uther plus Rhaegar, but that double support combo that I mentioned before with Tassadar Tyrande is incredibly strong, and Naventic wants to make sure that that isn't being played. It could also, again, bring us towards another Zeratul pick. Naventic picked Zeratul in the games before, and I actually wouldn't be shocked if Blaze went so far as to ban the hero out. Another great ban for them would be a healer, and they ban out Uther. So, or at least I think about it right now. Yes, lock him down, but that could lead us really into a Zeratul pick on the side of Naventic. Because Naventic with the Zeratul, or with the ban on the Tassadar, they first of all deny Tyrande Tassadar, but they also would make the life of Zeratul a bit easier. And they played Zeratul already in the first game that we've seen them play today on Sky Temple, where Zuna was running the hero with the Gathering Power build on level 4. There is a chance that that is going to happen again. Range damage is still needed though, and if they go into Zeratul, the problem that they have is if they go Zeratul, tank, plus healer, they have no range damage. So I suppose that considered, Zeratul is kind of unlikely. Rhaegar already for the damage here, and when we're talking range damage, I mean the options that you have right now, you can go into a Greymane, you can go into Lunara, both of them actually good, or you just go Mass Burst with Jaina. I feel those are the three options that you have. Another choice would be Vala, which we've seen several times. If you want to play Vala as the only damage dealer from a range position, that's of course something that you have to decide in this case. You can create the space for Lunara to be safe, but also, oh, Reyna over that. Alright, Reyna being taken here. I guess that with Reyna in play, we have actually, with his Bullseye against ETC, another tool that you can use. Alright. Didn't really expect him to be here. We have seen not a lot of Reyna these days. I expected really something along the lines of like Lunara, maybe a Vala, depending on how much they think that they can create enough space. But yeah, that's an interesting choice. I personally think it's great. I like it. Blaze is using the option, maybe with a Zeratul. For them it would work. I mean, Shogal on this map, I'm not a fan, and I think they're just like trolling us a little bit, especially with the Tyrande as the heal. I don't see that happening. The Zeratul, on the other hand, I can agree upon. So, yeah, Zeratul it is, and what they are still needing, I mean, they could go into a second heal if they really want to. They could play that with a Brightwing, and yes, that might be a decent pick for them. It also gives them a Polymorph option, of course, and some extra experience. If they actually feel that they have the damage, and with Falstad, Zeratul, you can argue that point for sure. Another option for them would be to go into Jaina. Now that they have a Zeratul plus an ETC, that's two very, very good setups for Jaina. Then again, if you do that, you have Tyrande as your only heal, and that can be a liability. So they decide in favor of Brightwing over the additional damage setup, and Naventic very likely to go into a Johanna here, I'd say. I suppose that with Thrall Zul, they have more options than that. Johanna is oftentimes great if you're looking at a solo tank, but if you have Thrall and Zul next to you, you have other options. Stitches works, but you can also just simply say, listen up, we're going to go into something completely different. We're going to use a Leoric, for example. We had the discussion a bit earlier if Leoric as a solo tank can be played, and I personally believe that if you do that, it always pays off if you have someone like Thrall and Zul next to you that can help you out. But there's no real reason to go into Leoric at this point because, well, let's just face it, in this case, you would use Leoric, I suppose, if your opponent plays Muradin. Then Leoric would suddenly look a lot more appealing, but that's not the case here. So Stitches is taken, and, well, let's jump in, guys. We have game number 1 happening between Naventic and Blaze here at the End of the Storm North America Finals. We are in the last series before the grand final. We have Team Blaze going up against Naventic, and it is a rematch. The two of them faced each other already in the winner bracket, and back then Blaze won the series with a 2-0 victory. Now, on Sky Temple, our first map, we have to the left side Zuna for Naventic on Thrall. We're seeing Fan on Zul, Erho on Stitches, McIntyre on Reyna, which we didn't really expect here, but the commander is here. Jimmy to the rescue, Kenma on Rhaegar, and to the right side of the map currently we have Tyrande played by Team Blaze. For being Impact, we have Jason on Falstad, Khaldor on Zeratul, we are seeing you on Brightwing, and we have B-Kid on ETC. Reyna going into Give Me More on level 1, no stacking process for him. Bikini Stitches is in the house, and he wants to play. We're seeing in terms of talents. Oh, look at that. I talked about the Korean Cleave build a bit earlier. And right now we have Greater Cleave taken as the level 1 talent. So a bit of a poke talent or a poke build on Zeratul where you can go Gathering Power as well. I'm actually really curious to see how he's going to play out with that. But the whole idea is, of course, if you go into that build, to have Gathering Power and then you just like start to jump in, jump out, you cleave real quickly and you just start to whittle down the hit points of your opponent. So that's the main idea behind this. We have currently Khaldor just waiting over here together with B-Kid in with our Tyrande. It seems like we're going to see an approach at the bot lane. Reyna is, of course, having a bit of a problem oftentimes, and that problem is called the lack of an escape. Yeah, B-Kid shows his ETC, and McIntyre is playing this extremely safe, and so he should. Reyna's problem is positioning, right? So normally as Reyna, you don't really have a lot of mobility in the fight, so usually you're just trying to get your auto attack damage out as much as you can. And in most of these encounters where you are on the lane, you are attempting to just stay away from the opponent when they have a lockdown comp like we're seeing with ETC and Tyrande here. Because once that they get their claws into you, you're down, you're dead. You have no chance of escape there. Hungry for more on level 1 for Stitches. Hook against, yeah, nice. a hook and immediately the Bone Prison against Zeratul, but he's going to get away here. Tyrande with the cooldown reduction build. We have a double support on the side of Team Blaze. They're running this with the Brightwing too. And Fan is currently trying to push the lane here. Did not go to the bot lane. Instead, it's Reyna who's going to deal with all of this. And still the fight for the temple. In this case, it's actually only the mid-temple that is being fought over. And Brightwing is making his way in. And that's the cue for Reyna to leave lane as well and go to the top. But that also means he misses out on a lane. Now, once again, kill against Stitches. And, well, in this case, that's, of course, the advantage of having Brightwing in the team. She was much faster here in the fight at the middle than the opponent. Yeah, we have one of the other casters, I think one of the French casters dropping out right now, so let's hope for the French community that he's going to be able to reconnect to this. At the top lane, we have Kenma and Khaldor in a bit of a fight there, and Zuna is joining the fun as well. Oh, Jason low, but nice, there's the double support once again, and Kenma is down. Double kill for Blaze, but the counter kill against Falstad. Well done here. So Naventic is not giving this... Oh my god, Brightwing. Oh wow, Brightwing getting smashed under the face and the body just skitters over half the map. Alright, that was not fun for Brightwing, kind of fun for us though. Zeratul, indeed, with Gathering Power, as we already talked about. So going into that build that I mentioned, currently has one Gathering Power stack. And we're seeing Zul with the Death's Reach, so the site has a bit of a range increase now. Also, after, well, Flow Rider is probably going to combo off on 16 with the Area Gust. For now, it's only Flow Rider after the Gathering Storm. Cladeus again with the poke as much as he can. Here comes the hook against you. Nice. Naventic gets another kill in. They're really rocking this, but ETC comes in, and he's the god of rock, of course. Takes down Thrall, and that takes a lot of the momentum away from the opponent. Once again, the attempt to go for the Bone Prison. Yeah, but he tries to charge in. Lockdown attempt. Fan and Erho are so low, but they can't capitalize on it. And everybody moves away. Really hyper-aggressive game. I'm liking it. I'm so loving it. At the beginning of the game here, a lot of aggression. And the temples haven't even been taken yet. We're already nearly 4 minutes in. Another move against Brightwing. Lockdown. And the kill against Zul. B-Kid is low. Gets healed. Moves away. Lockdown. Thrall. And the counter kill. 4 kills against 4. And we aren't even 4 minutes in the game. Every 30 seconds, one hero dies. Yeah, we have currently Erho and Zuna finally taking the shots here, and Falstad is using the mobility to immediately fly down. So yeah, trying to make that work. And, well, in this case right now, we're seeing Jason actually just like soaking XP in the bush, even hiding there. We have Cladeus in the mid lane currently starting to make his way in and maybe even carry a couple of damage points in against Fan. We have him at 3 Season Marksman stacks, by the way. So, sorry, not Season Marksman stacks, but of course Gathering Power stacks. So that's 6% extra damage already with a Cleave build that is currently preferring here. And we see that continued on level 7, where Zeratul went straight into the Void Slash. So you get more damage out of the cloak. So the entire idea here is really to jump in, jump out, get a Cleave in before you do that. Wormhole is going to make that very powerful. Here's the damage, lockdown, Stitches in trouble, gets healed, but barely escapes. Still trying to go, of course, for those Siege Giants. We have, besides that, also Boomerang taken. We're seeing for Reyna the Revolution Overdrive after the focused attack. Cleanse for Rhaegar, going to help out a bit later on against all those stuns that we're seeing, actually already as is. And we have Ratma's Blessing for the sustain on Fan with Azul. Oh, Zeratul, is he gonna escape? Wow! Nice. That was an important one. That's 3 Gathering Power stacks that you still have available. So that's pretty important there too. And him not dying is, of course, a big deal, or can be a big deal in the later stage of the game. But super aggressive game here, and I'm really, really liking it. Both of the teams are still on the same level, so nobody gets a huge advantage or anything. It's all about the rotations right now, soaking the experience, making sure that your opponent doesn't really get a huge lead against you. Cladeus is again going, of course, here for his shots in with a Cleave. And for him, really, survivability at this point is nearly everything. Trying to make sure that all those Gathering Power stacks don't disappear, that it's not in vain. Only 6% extra damage so far, but you can already imagine that if you stack that up towards the later stage of the game, you are going to get an amazing output in damage. And that poke can really whittle down the hit points of your opponent's team and give you a lead going into a battle. By the way, Brightwing did not really feel the need to go into Peekaboo. Vision is of course nice, not necessarily against stealth targets, but overall is always great. But the unstable anomaly allows a little bit more damage now, and therefore that's the talent that was also chosen here. I have the bot lane, the temples are about to be activated, and we are seeing still a camp taken on the map. Zeratul could even move up to the top to deal with this one, but of course Brightwing has the mobility, and therefore we're seeing Brightwing trying to take care of this, whereas everybody else is headed bot lane to make sure that they can fight for this particular temple now. And it's going to be a 10 versus 10 battle. Any second right now, there's the level 10 already, and Naventic has the heroics as well. Shadowstalk use, Mighty Gust, Blink Heal. We're seeing the Poison Nova, by the way, and we have the Hyperion, plus, of course, Ancestral Healing. No talent yet on ETC, but it is the Mosh Pit. And there we go. Already, oh my god! Reyna, no chance, and the Void Prism is perfect! Can B-Kid get the Mosh Pit off? They're looking at it. Can he slide in and get it? They're going for Zuna. There it is, and there's no interrupt. Great move. Ancestral already used for Thrall. Thrall pushed back. Zuna is down, and Team Blaze with a place here. But a nice Poison over. Oh my god. The return hook gets Brightwing, but well, she is able to escape here. Double kill on the other hand for Blaze. Really, really well done. I am loving this. 5 kills already, therefore 5 gathering power stacks on the side of Zeratul, and that is going to help him with the extra damage, 10% as is. They go again for Stitches, and the hit points disappear fast and faster. Very, very well done. Right now we're having Jason about to take it down, but Kenmar commits way too hard for the kill, is dead. Cletheus moves away, 7 stacks now in his gathering power, and that's 14% extra damage already. They go for the shots here, and of course that fight is not over, not by a long shot. They're seeing a slight experience lead now for Team Blaze, but this fight is definitely not over. Once again, there's shots remaining on the temple, and they're trying to go for ETC, but everybody's just healing up, and Falstad cannot fly in again. We're seeing Rhaegar back to business as well, but of course he has... Oh, Falstad actually flying to the top lane. They're trying to get a bit more value out of this by just simply pushing for the fort here, which they can definitely do. And we're having Cletheus right now in the mid lane. Needs to be careful here. Oh, ho, ho, ho! Gets away with that blink. That was a close call. But look for now at least at the damage output. 14,000 on Zeratul, that isn't really too bad. Like, he always has a lot of poke damage here. Of course, the main damage dealer is in this case, or the main damage dealer is still Falstad. For good reason, obviously. We have 16,000 on, well, Reyna, even though he died, but he committed the Hyperion to the fight, and that definitely helped. Did not go for something like level 1 talent with Season Marksman or anything like that, but still he has very solid damage numbers. In terms of healing, 18,000 on Brightwing, not too shabby. Currently, Rhaegar is on 15k, so he was trying to get those Ancestral throughs, and he actually got one out against Thrall, or burst towards Thrall, but it did not save the melee assassin at the front line. Zuna still died. It was a great coordination here, actually, with the Void Prison and the Mosh Pit afterwards. And especially the blow against Reyna was so hard that it didn't, like, he had no chance there. Wormhole is going to be such a crucial talent right now. It's actually one of the talents for this build, which is incredibly powerful, because from this point on, Zeratul can just always, like, blink in, get a cleave off, blink out again, and that's what he's going to try and do. Overflowing Light for the extra heals. We're seeing Static Shield also taken, and we have the Shield Dust plus the Face Melt after the Just Keep Rockin'. So this is an important talent to keep ETC alive. Just Keep Rockin' in a solo tank setup is extremely powerful, especially of course if you have the lockdown against you that Thrall can provide with Sundering, with his wolves, and also the Bone Prison that we are seeing from Kenmar in a bit of trouble, but it is not overcommitting, and he shouldn't. Like, safety first on the side of Zeratul at this point, and for very good reason. 13 versus 13 right now. Relentless Leader has been taken as well, and that keeps us, of course, also against at least... Uh-oh, Zeratul? Yeah, careful, bro. A Relentless Leader gives them a chance to deal with all of those stuns, especially the ETC stun is going to be very nice once the T starts to move in. This is going to be pretty cool. So B-Kid has to be careful with this. The Crapify has been chosen, Void Prism, but yeah, they can't get in. Good zoning from Erho, he's already there. So this is a cooldown that has already been committed. That's a huge cooldown that has been used there. That's a 100-second cooldown that is just down the drain for more or less nothing. So they immediately move away from the bottom temple now, saying, okay, without the Void Prism, we don't really want to commit to this. Let's go to the top, take the other temple. It's going to be an even trade, and we're going to be absolutely fine with that. We are one level ahead. Played safe and sound right now. But this is, of course, with that cooldown that has been used, it's a bit of an advantage still. And that is something that Naventic wants to use right now, which is why they are moving in again as is. Players again with a poke. Here comes that fight, but already low on Kenma and also Reina, both of them. Oh, Jason needs to be super careful here. That hook once again hitting home. Echo is ready. Zuna was trying to pressure Zeratul, but still, this is a close call. Yeah, Wormhole, this is exactly what we've been talking about, and they're locked down against Rhaegar. Rhaegar dead, Thrall dead. Oh my god, Blaze, like they are playing such a crazy cool style. Jason trying to fly in and gust them out, but he's a bit too short and has to commit to his barrel roll to bring himself back to safety. But overall, an amazing game by Blaze again. Like this lineup for Team Blaze is really working out for them. Naventic went into this tournament as one of the huge favorites here, but they already lost in the winner bracket to Blaze. And right now, of course, they want revenge, but so far it's looking very much like we could see the 1-0 lead again for Blaze. I mean, that game is not over by any means, but right now things are looking very, very good for Team Blaze. They have the extra talent, the Airy Gust now for Falstad to activate that cooldown reduction with a level 4 talent even faster. Rending Cleave is also going to be amazing for Zeratul. Like his damage output with the 9 gathering power stacks that he already has is going to be super strong. He's at 18% extra damage as is, and we have Greater Polymorph now taken as well, plus of course Ranger for the range poke. This is looking very, very powerful right now. Gladeus is even going for, with the rest of the team, going straight for the boss. They might have to abandon this now that it's been spotted. Even with the talent advantage, they don't want to go for it. But just look at the damage output that we see for Zeratul here. He's currently, in terms of siege damage, at 72,000. I mean, it's not only the hero damage that, of course, benefits from those gathering power stacks. It's also his wave clear. And that is getting really strong. One cleave obliterates a wave. One cleave is easily taking down a wave at this point. So his wave clear is extremely strong, and we have him at the same time with 24,000k against heroes, which isn't too bad either. That is the same amount of damage that we are seeing for the top damage dealer on the side of Team Naventic right now. So he really needs to guard these season marksman stats. Look at this, the poke, again, Brightwing jumps in, but Gladeus might be a bit too overcommitted. Has to jump out there. Zeratul with the Void Prison, trying to save Brightwing. Everybody else is moving in as well. This is a chance. Again, ETC, Relentless Leader is pushing him back, but they get the kill against Reina regardless. And once more they jump in with now 10 stacks on the gathering power. And look at Kenma, how he's struggling to keep alive. He can't ancestral himself, and therefore he's a constant target of Zeratul. Zeratul wants these kills. Erho is extremely low, and this is the end of him. 11 stacks on Zeratul's gathering power, allowing him to dish out an additional 22% ability damage. And in damage, as you can see, he is climbing the ranks. 29k for him now. Now it's a safe boss that they can take here. 12 kills against 5 overall. And this is exactly the game that Blaze is trying to run. They are calling the shots, they are dictating the pace of the game, and they so far have not really overcommitted to anything. They have taken a couple of risks, but all of them very calculated, no huge overcommitments or anything, and very few mistakes overall. Good pressure also from Naventic, but they can't really capitalize on the combo that they have here. The hooks that we're seeing from Stitches aren't bad by any means, but every single time he hooks someone, there's an immediate disengage. There's always the Mighty Gust available, there's the barrel roll that brings Falstad back to safety. Tyrande and Brightwing are doing an exceptional job keeping these boys alive, and Zeratul, when hooked, can of course commit to his... Look at this damage against Siege, like one simple hit and the wave is gone. In this case, Brightwing helping out as well, but overall 86,000 on the hero, on the siege damage is showcasing exactly what's going on here. And there's a keep that is now being obliterated at the bot lane. So yeah, here comes the Hyperion. The boss will have to be dealt with, but they get the keep thanks to the boss. Now after we are seeing the Decrepify, we have also the Flowing Wounds taken, and we see Pulverize plus the Bullseye. The 16 versus 16 talents are there. Jason is already fighting with Arrow, and they need to be careful on this account. So level 19 versus level 16. And Team Blaze, I mean, they're playing an incredible game here. It's a 3-level advantage in this first game. Here comes, yeah, Stitch with the hook. Immediate disengage by ETC. Of course, the utility tank here is also playing a very, very great game. But level 20 is going to be reached extremely soon. And again, the poke. McIntyre gets poked, immediately being healed by Kenma though. And Kenma on his level 13 talent, just on the side note, went into the Earth Shield as well. Here comes Jason, and they're going for the Mighty Gust. But Void Prison is capturing one. Over here on the other hand, nice moves. Where is Zeratul? Zeratul can't really jump in yet. They get the kill though against Thrall. Oh, the Bone Prison, but no consequence. There's nobody to follow it up with damage. They jump in against McIntyre. He is dead as well, and Zeratul is completely destroying them right now. Falstad, of course, as well. This is 4 kills, and they are even trying to go for Echo. A big flying at the bot lane. They are trying to finish the game. 15 points already on gathering power. They are at full 30% extra damage, and in damage, Zeratul is at 38,000. 47,000 on Falstad. Jason himself is doing incredible work here, and now with the level 20 talent and with the advantages that they have here, we are seeing them go straight for the core, and why wouldn't they? This, yeah, max stacks, baby, exactly. That's where we are at right now, and we are going to see a 1-0 lead for Team Blaze in this series against Naventic. Well played, great job by them here, and we're going to follow this up with game number 2 in just a few seconds here at the end of the Storm North America Finals. Game number 1 has ended in favor of Team Blaze. They have the lead now in the series. Duke, thank you very much for the reset, my friend. But with Naventic now down a map, that means if Blaze takes it, we will see a rematch between Blaze and Cloud9 in the grand final. Of course, if Naventic loses here, they still come in 3rd place, and that will give them $1,000 plus hardware from Rocket. Blaze, on the other hand, would secure themselves a top 2 finish in the tournament at least if they make it happen here and take down Naventic now in Battlefield of Eternity. And the 2nd place in the tournament gets $3,000 and even more hardware from Rocket, whereas the 1st place ends up with a $6,000 prize money. We have Falstad banned out by Naventic already. Blaze reacts with a Liming ban, and of course heroes that have had a huge impact in the last game, especially Zeratul with the max gathering power stacks there, and that definitely worked quite well for him. But another hero that has also like quite a lot to say about the victory for Team Blaze was Falstad, and Naventic this time makes sure that Falstad is not going to become another issue. Blaze hasn't really... Okay, there's a lockdown on Liming as the ban, but let's find out how Naventic is going to start with the first pick. They play... Yeah, they put in a bit of Cloud9 style, and are currently saying, hell, Muradin it is. Let's take that Muradin here for our first pick. And Muradin was actually... I think it was banned out in the last game. And Blaze now with the opening here, and let's see if they are going to commit maybe... Oh, that would be a very early Tassadar. I would be very surprised to see that. Like, Tassadar this early as a commitment, that would be huge. Thrall makes a lot more sense now. Sudden Fool, thank you very much for the resub as well. We haven't really seen Greymane in the last game. I would personally prefer Thrall, but overall, when you're talking about Battlefield of Eternity, combos that are run with the Tyrande are very strong because you can, well, and as I say it, as she's picked, because you can get the extra damage in against the Immortal. So she helps you really a lot when you are trying to go for the objective. Any kind of single target damage is very cool with that as well. And the resubs are real. I mean, like, that's the 3rd one in a row. Walter Bongo, thank you very much, my friend. So, yeah, a bit of a sub-train going on there. Naventic now with their own picks. Muradin, Tyrande is not possible for them anymore. Blaze, of course, basically killing 2 birds with 1 stone there. They secure Tyrande for themselves so they can put additional pressure on the Immortal, and they take it away from the potential Muradin in Tyrande combo for that stun lock that oftentimes blows targets away. So Sonya as a setup would be actually really nice. Muradin Sonya has been played several times by Naventic today and with great success, especially of course in the earlier series against Cognitive. So they still need either a healer or a bit of range damage for themselves now. And in range damage, we still have a lot of heroes available to us. We could still see one of those, well, a Tassadar would work with Sonya as well. And it would take also Tassadar away from Tyrande. We all know that Tassadar Tyrande is a very nice double support play, even though we have seen a lot more Bright Wings in the same role. I would still expect Naventic to ban out ETC. Team Blaze, when it comes to bans, it depends, of course, very highly on what they are going to try and pick up for themselves now. But range damage is something that Naventic is still lacking, and I could see Blaze just deciding in banning that out. There is the option that they are trying to also deny a second healer to Naventic now, or at least something like we've seen Tassadar and Uther compositions, for example. We've seen Tassadar and Brightwing compositions. Again, it depends a bit on what Blaze wants to do. If Blaze, for example, says, hey, Brightwing worked out as a second support force quite nicely in the last game, so let's do that again. They could do that now. C-Tier Wilson, also with a resub. As I said, we have a bit of a sub-train going on at this point. But yeah, Blaze could decide to go into a Brightwing themselves, then they wouldn't ban her out. So if you really want to make sure that you get the double support, and actually it's the case, they ban out Uther, as I said, likely to pick a Brightwing for themselves if they feel a double support is needed once again, like they played it in the last game. And Naventic, I would be surprised if we don't see that ETC ban. And yes, they go for the ETC ban. Lesson learned. Blaze right now, personally I believe we're going to have them with their tank last. I don't think you have to commit to your tank line right now. That would leave us, if they play double support, with a Brightwing pick and with also a range damage pick. And in range damage, there's a few options. There's Greymane still around. You can go into a Lunara. And if you prefer that, from a personal view, you can go into Vala, I guess. So those would be the three big ones that we are talking about at this point. Zul hasn't picked either. That's definitely true. So he is another hero that can be used with Lockdown. That combos off extremely well with Tyrande. And they actually do that. So snipe comp incoming. It also means that Tyrande is most likely going to be played as a solo support, unless they're totally fine with playing. That could also now mean that we're seeing a Jaina, by the way. So suddenly our range damage setup got increased. But if they play double support, that would mean that Tyrande is the only range hero that they have. Wow. And they actually commit to it. And with that, we will see Tyrande with more of a damage focus. I could even see her with Searing Arrows on level 4. I would be a bit surprised even if they didn't go for Searing Arrows. And yeah, it's a Rhaegar Tyrande setup. Of course, we're talking about the dream here and a potential Bloodlust, but is that really going to happen? Bloodlust with this setup? I mean, could you do that? Guys, to be absolutely frank with you, as long as there's no Zagara or no Zeratul for Void Prison Mod Disengage, False Start is banned, ETC Mosh Pit not available, we could actually see Bloodlust. You have Zul, that's to a certain extent. I mean, like, with his Deadly Strikes, capitalize on that. Tyrande is probably going to go into a more heavy focus on auto attacks here as well. Thrall is going to benefit from it. So it's not like it's going to be useless. You could actually do that. I think there are better setups to run a Bloodlust, but the combo that they're up against doesn't really have a lot to disengage. Because the problem with Bloodlust is always that your opponent, if they have a good disengage, is going to run away from you, wait the Bloodlust out, and that's it. But in this case, you force the fights on Battlefield of Eternity in the middle for the Immortal anyways, so you could actually play that. Just putting it out there. Even with the Ancestral Healing, it's going to be strong. Even with that. So it's not like they have to play Bloodlust. It's not like a win condition or anything. But it would be scary as hell. But yeah, still. Naventic, ooh, Malfurion for an additional heal. Could see a Greymane, maybe. Sorry, like not Greymane, a Brightwing, Malfurion. I didn't even consider Malfurion as the addition to Tacita. I mean, you got the shields, you have Vision. Malfurion is locked down. Okay, that helps him with mana. Okay, that's not too bad. Alright, so yeah, let's see how that's gonna work out for them. I doubt the Atanas. Well, if you want to have, like, okay, let's dream for a moment. Let's dream. It's been a while since we had, like, a Bloodlust comp. But let's dream for a moment. If you go Bloodlust, you want your tank to do damage, right? You want to have a tank that can actually do damage. Atanas would fit that bill a bit, and you have already a frontline with Zul and Thrall. We have seen teams without like, if they, oh my, this is so going to be Bloodlust. Vala, no tank, this is so going to be Bloodlust. We've seen no tank compositions before, and if I've ever seen a Bloodlust build in my entire life, then this is it. Vala with auto attack, with maybe multi-shot on 1 and 13, but with auto attack on 4 and 7. If that's not auto attack, then I don't know what. If that's not auto attack, then I'm going to be so disappointed. Hey, Blaze, seriously, like, you really put that out right now. You can't take it back. You have already shown it. We want to see Bloodlust, and we want to see it now. Battlefield of Eternity, boys and girls, and this is going to be sick. We have seen combos without a tank. We have a Thrall and a Zul at the front line. That is quite a bit that you can use for sustain against Mirrodin, Sonya, and we are going to see a Bloodlust combo. I'm calling it right now. That has to be Bloodlust. It was looking good for Bloodlust before, and if this is not Bloodlust, then I don't know what's going to happen here. This is going to be it. Guys, we can jump into that. This is going to be great. This is going to be really good. So, let's go in and see if Blaze can make it work against Naventic to get the 2-0 victory. Let's jump into Battlefield of Eternity. Game number 2, everybody, and this has to be a Bloodlust game. Calling it now. If that's not Bloodlust, then we're gonna riot, because this setup is insane. No tank once again. To the left side of the map, we have Naventic. They go up against Team Blaze, and Blaze is in the 1-0 lead. Zuna is playing Sonya for Naventic. We have Fan on Greymane, Kenma on Malfurion, Erho on Mirrodin, and McIntyre on Tacita, sorry. To the right side of the map, it is Team Blaze, and they've been blazing today. They have been playing so well on Sky Temple. They run Big Impact on Zul, they have Pladeus on Thrall, we have B-Kid on Vala, Jason on Tyrande, and you on Rhaegar. If this is not a Bloodlust comp, then I don't know what is. Already the multi-shot on level 1 taken, which would lead us again into that auto-attack build with a hybrid, with having the slow talent on 13, so that you get the extra damage with Executioner on the level 16 talent then later on. And we're having Thrall, of course, in this case, with block. I mean, he is one of the 2 frontliners that they run, disregarding Rhaegar for a moment here. So block makes perfect sense for him. We're seeing also a bit of a focus on the Lightning Bond. And with the level 1 talent, the Rangers mark, we are now already seeing Tyrande with that focus on the Immortal push then later on in the game. This is a pretty sick setup. One of the things that you oftentimes run against Bloodlust, or why Bloodlust is oftentimes a bad choice, even though the cooldown got reduced, is that you are going up against a lot of Zagaras or Zeratul these days, or Tassadars, for example, which we have in this case. I'm going to explain quickly why that is. Maw and Void Prison are amazing against Bloodlust, because you simply can disengage from the fight once that Bloodlust has been used, if you use it properly, and then Bloodlust disappears, and that's what you're trying to do. In this case, though, the fights are forced in the middle, of course, since we are looking at the Immortal damage. Tassadar can oftentimes with the Force Wall counteract it to a certain extent, but there's not really a lot of space where you can get a perfect Force Wall off here in those big team fights that will help you to disengage from Bloodlust. So, of course, there's still a chance that we're seeing Ancestral Healing, but I mean, this combo that we're seeing here is really, really leading towards a Bloodlust potential at least. So if we are seeing in the game, then this is going to be it. For now, the jump against Claudius, but, well, he's getting away on his Thrall. McIntyre has to be very careful. It's double support time for both of the teams here, with Malfurion Tassadar going up against Tyrande Rhaegar. And that's, of course, also quite a bit of damage that you get from that Tyrande in particular. Keep in mind that her trait is going to be brilliant to burst the Immortal of the opponent down. So they should always win the fight when it comes to, like, bursting down the opponent's Immortal a little bit faster. Which is why Erho is actually over here trying to also help out a little bit, but you can really tell how this is already coming into play. So far, on the other hand, the blue team is a little bit faster. They've been doing great work here. We have also, again, the lockdown against Rhaegar, but the heal is there. Tyrande helping out, but for how long? Rhaegar healing himself, and they're getting the stuns in against Zuna, who is once again rocking Sonya here. The defense for the blue team with the poke from especially Vala. B-Kid, is he going to commit to Manticore on level 4, or are we going to see a full multi-shot build, which we've actually seen in one of the games earlier here with the poke. Once again, they're trying to burst that down. Stuns everywhere. Defense is also happening. Here comes again the lockdown attempt against Mirrodin, but the stun is a bit too late. He jumps away, and again the poke. Poke everywhere, root for Malfurion. They pushed them back though, and now they can focus on the Immortal again. But Erho has not given up yet. The problem is that he's so low that even the Shield of Tassadar might not be enough to sustain him here. Zuna is also in position, but the Red Immortal is taken down first. Good job here, especially by Fan on his Greymane with the extra damage. So Naventic wins the first Immortal, and now we have level 4. And that is already going to tell us quite a bit. It is indeed the hybrid build on Vala. We're going to see the auto attacks. At this point, there is the Manticore. We're having Jailers taken. We're seeing Thrall straight again with the right lightning here for the extra targets that he can hit with this. And as you can see, Tyrande not going in the damage. And her not going into searing arrows, even though they are missing a range damage dealer, is leaning more towards that damage increase than later on that we're going to see from the attack speed increase with the Bloodlust if it happens. Of course, against the Bone Prison, we have Hurricane against Run on Sonya. It's the adjustment that you make. Having the Immortal bursted down, and we're seeing now the Rampant Growth plus the Leeching Plasma committed to. Great build so far, looking strong here. Level 7 and then especially level 10 are going to dictate how this game is going to be run. The solo lanes still with the 2 Bruiser tanks. We have Thrall and also Sonya on their bot lane, whereas everybody else is focusing to the top right now. No kills so far. We are 4 minutes in, and the last time that we actually seen this, we already had 8 kills on the board, but this time it's 0 kills at this point. So let's see how this is going to work out for them. Top lane commitments to the first camp. Keep in mind that Lightning Bond has been taken for Rhaegar. That helps with the burst against Immortals. That helps also with the burst against camps if you try to take them, but everybody is already here. Sonya even rotating to the top. They abandon it for now. Jason is under pressure. So is also Zul now, and Fan locked down with the Bone Prison. Here comes Tirana with a follow-up, but Zul might fall, and the stun is sealing his fate. Down he goes. Well played. The only thing, though, that is a little bit unfortunate for them now is that they had to abandon the bot lane to make that kill happen. They can still try and pressure the top, but it allows Thrall to get a bit damage in down to the bottom of the map, and the first tower has already fallen, which allows them, of course, to get some experience. Sonya is making her way back over, but she is a bit late. Missing a bit of the experience there already, but still putting the damage on Thrall, who's returning the favor, but can't lock down Sonya in range of the towers, which would of course be in the ideal scenario. Camps are taken on the map, level 7s are being reached, and the extra talent for the next Immortal is going to be an important part. Already the cooldown reduction for Muradin, whereas we are seeing ferocious healing for Sonya. We have, again, Kala's Embrace taken, and let's see what's going to happen. Well, the cleanse, okay, for Malfurion, plus Incendiary Elixir, so going for the cocktail build. Both of the teams taking, of course, their camps right now, and yep, now we're moving straight into a follow-through, into a cleanse, and are we going to see once again Ratma's Blessing for Zul, or what will he commit to? Already the fight for the Immortal again. Keep in mind that the Tirana comp is incredibly strong when it comes to that. It is Harvest Vitality. Guys, it's happening. It's happening, I'm telling you. Harvest Vitality so that the Curse Strikes get even more heals in. And then later on 13, you can go for the extra damage. It's something that we might see here. Lockdown and snipe against Sonya. Goodbye, Zuna. Kenma being attacked, and Malfurion is also obliterated. Great kill already, and now Khaldor, they are riding that momentum wave. They're starting to move in. They want more than only these two kills. They go for McIntyre, they go for Erho. Muradin jumping out. The Owl is hitting Fan and not hitting McIntyre. Shields himself. Erho just barely getting away, and everybody else is committing now to the Immortal. Great escape though for Naventic. They are getting away with most of their heroes here after they had the initial 2 losses. So that was actually a very smart escape. They saved both Tacita and Muradin. It was big. Khaldor has to go back. He has some mana problems. He couldn't commit to the level 1 talent here for the Chain Lightning, which helps him with that. But now the defense is going on. Everyone else is starting to move down to the bottom. They might still lose out on the Immortal here. Even with the 2 kills that they got. They have the experience lead, but that doesn't mean that they are going to get the Immortal. B-Kid is there, starting to put the pressure in. Already the auto attacks hitting Fan, and here comes that root on the ground, but the Immortal is low, and they want to go for the fight again. Can they go for the lockdown? Where's the Bone Prison? Where is the Bone Prison? They try to go for Erho. He's moving away. The sun is still hitting, though. And of course, we have Jason with that cooldown reduction thanks to the Rangers mark, but they have to defend right now. They can't really move top. They need to win a fight. They might actually lose that Immortal. They're trying to go in, but there's already Muradin. Muradin jumping away once again. Did, by the way, not commit to the Sledgehammer, which we oftentimes see on this map, but instead we have the second Reverberation. They're expecting auto attack pressure. Once again, oh, there's a lockdown into lockdown. Roots has been started. Erho is low, and Erho is down. He had cooldown on his Dwarf Toss, couldn't use it. Fan is extremely low as well, but Zuna might be the one falling. He got affected by the Immortal stun, and this is another double kill. But they get the objective. They have the Immortal now, but level 9.5 has been claimed. Guys, the hype. Are we gonna see Bloodlust? I haven't seen Bloodlust in any serious game in a long, long time, at least not on this level, especially not in such an important match. But if at all, we're going to see it now. If at all, we're going to see it now. And the build on Zul alone already leans a little bit toward that talent. But I mean, one way or another, they are already playing a great game here. They burst the Immortal down now. That's another, of course, huge advantage that you have with Tyrande. It's not only getting the objective, it's also bursting it down if your opponent gets it. And there's the level 10. Poison over. We have Sundering taken. Rega, come on, do it, bro. Do it. I still expect Rain of Vengeance, by the way, taken by yeah, there it is. Rain of Vengeance by Vala. Blaze, they are toying with our feelings. They are toying with our feelings. Don't tease me. Don't tease me, bro. So, yeah, there we have it. Rega is waiting. They, of course, know what we're waiting for. Are they delivering, though? Are they delivering, or are they going to chicken out? That's the main question here. That's also something that the opponent is going to look for. Erho has to jump away, alright, using the invulnerable frames on his hero to make sure that he's not going to be locked down by the Bone Prison. Zuna needs to move away. And there's Bloodlust. Bloodlust used. They go in and the kill, baby. Yes, Zuna down. Bloodlust has committed to it. Look at the Horde rushing it. Double kill. They try to go for Erho lockdown, and oh my god. The disaster, the damage, the pain, the carnage, the pain train. and they get the double kill immediately. Bloodlust has been chosen and used, and this is another fort that's falling. They get another double kill. 6 kills against 1. It is beautiful. It is sexy. I like it. And well, we have, of course, now Naventic in a situation where they somehow have to deal with this. And the big part against Bloodlust is disengage. But how do you get that? It's a 40-second cooldown at this point, and well, it might be, they can use it for the next immortal fight, actually. So this is going to be pretty sweet at this point, but this is going to be a crazy good. So in terms of damage, just to give you a bit of an idea right now, we have 28,000 on Vala already, thanks to, of course, that Rain of Vengeance that you could use in the last fight. Greymane is at still 20k, which is pretty solid as well. Camps are being taken. They're trying to go in, but it was already taken, now claimed. And that means that both of the teams have currently the Shamans moving onto lane. So this is currently happening. We're having also now Bloodlust on 10-second cooldown, which means that they can use it for the Immortal fight. That's an important part of this setup as well. And we are having them all moving straight into the middle of the map once again. And that is now the risk for Naventic, of course. The pre-shield load is there. The preload on the shields and all of the heroes has so far been committed. Everybody's just trying to burst the Immortal down a bit. They're waiting for Bloodlust. They have all the heroics available. And now this is the chance to go for a fight. But nice isolation here against Zul. Bloodlust being used there, going in once again. Here comes the go for Kenma. He's trying to maintain the team with the hit points thanks to his Tranquility. The kill against Thrall, and this could now snowball against Blaze. Blaze did not get a kill with Bloodlust. Now it's over, and they are getting maybe even wiped here. Oh, nice kill though. Rain of Vengeance was great. 3 against 2 exchange. It's not over yet, but Jason is falling. Fan is just too strong here. It's a quad kill against them, and now Naventic with an amazing fight here. I'm liking it. That was extremely well done. Bloodlust was committed. They had a bit of an issue here with the engage at the beginning. You could really see how they were trying, or at least half the team was trying to go for Malfurion, but they couldn't make it work. And Malfurion with Tranquility healed everyone up, and as long as he can stay alive, that's the big deal here, of course. We still have overall... the Troll Immortal here, stunning out Kenma. We still have in this situation, of course, a level lead, or yeah, a talent lead also, for Team Blaze, but in this case, it was really a bit of an engagement problem. As expected, the Giant's Curse has been taken as the level 13 talent, and we also have now Frostshot. Vala got also that Rain of Vengeance a bit too late off, so the coordination was a little bit off, mainly because we saw a situation in which especially Zul was a bit isolated. Zul was isolated by the Great Force Wall, and it looked a bit like it forced the hand of Rhaegar to use that Bloodlust. They engaged into this battle a little bit sooner than they really wanted to, and that definitely was a problem. Bloodlust is ready again. The only cooldown they're waiting for is Rain of Vengeance. We have Tranquility on another 4-second cooldown, but this fort is most likely going to go down. Another Great Force Wall here, and Zul is in more trouble. They're trying to heal him. In comes Bloodlust once again. They're jumping for it. 2 seconds on the Rain of Vengeance. The kill against Greymane is there, and Greymane is the key hero for them here with damage. Locked down with the first wave of the Rain of Vengeance, but he gets away, and Kenma healing everybody once again. Kenma going straight into now also Ice Block, and he needs that talent. Of course he does. He is one of the priority targets in all of these fights, and if he can keep himself alive after using Tranquility, then they will still have a chance to stay alive throughout all of this. So right now we're having currently 13 versus 14 in levels. We're seeing in total 9 kills against 5, and we have after 13 also the Earth Shield now taken. That Giant's Curse is going to be a great talent to deliver even more damage for Zul. And let's take a look at the damage. We have 44,000 damage delivered already by Vala. Her auto attacks are, of course, absolutely destroying those lines. And we see for Zul 29,000 with Thrall at 33. Greymane dying early on in the last fight was a big deal. He is the main damage dealer right now for Naventic. We have him at 32,000 already, and Fan has been playing a great game on Greymane. In the last fight, in the Immortal fight actually, he was one of the heroes that survived for the longest and was able to take down 2 or 3 targets, which was incredibly well done. We have bot lane now pushing, and once again the cooldowns are starting to trickle in. So we have another 10 seconds for Bloodlust, another 15 for Rain of Vengeance, and we're seeing 20 for Tranquility. The heals, by the way, on Malfurion at 29,000. Doesn't really sound too impressive actually, but if you consider that he's really the one keeping them alive during all of these Bloodlust fights, that's a big, big deal. Rhaegar, by the way, the only one who hasn't died yet. Cooldowns for Blaze are all there. They're all ready with them. And we're seeing now Tranquility also available to the team. Level 16 is something that, of course, at this point they would really love to have. I mean, if they get the level 16 before they go for the Immortal, that would be great. That's 10 seconds that they have. If they burst away the wave at the top, they're going to be incredibly close with it. But so far, it feels like they might even be forced into a fight before that happens. They can't go to the bot lane. It's too far out pushed already. If anything, it's the one at the top. And it's actually Naventic meeting them up there. They want to make sure that that is not going to happen. But Zul is already taking the experience, and there it is. Level 16 versus level 13 Talents Executioner for Vala. Oh my god, she's going to have so much damage. Once again, Bloodlust. Whoa, that was a huge mistake there. That was a massive mistake. And now the disengage is there. Huge mistake by Rhaegar. Used it at the completely wrong moment in time. Actually, no, they didn't use it. Wait a second. Like, am I crazy? I thought I saw it go off. It's still not on cooldown. I thought it saw it go off. Sorry, my mistake. My mistake. I must have been hallucinating there. I really thought I saw Bloodlust go off, but it's off cooldown, so he can still use it. So my mistake. They have the chance here. I thought he used it when the force wall was in place, and that would have, of course, have been a disaster. But apparently that wasn't the case here. So they now have an opportunity to use it, unless something is bugging out and it's showing the wrong cooldown. But I don't think so. So it's still the opportunity for them to go in. Let me double check on the talents here. Bloodlust is indeed off cooldown. My bad. I apologize. We're seeing 16 versus 15. They still have the opportunity to use it and jump in. And, well, for now, as you can tell here, it's still the talent lead that they're trying to run. They are disengaging a little bit. They're waiting in the middle, though. They already bursted down the Immortal of the opponent to half health, and now they can go for the rest. Level 16 isn't there yet for Team Naventic. They're not committing yet. They're dancing around it. The Immortal is still being attacked. It's quite a bit of damage that we're seeing here. Here's the Force Wall. They commit. Bloodlust has been used, and they go straight in for the kill against Spiridon. There comes also the Sundering. Tacita is low, and of course, again, we see Tranquility from Alfurion. The kill against Tyrande as a counter kill. 2 for 1 so far, and Greyman is in the middle of things. He wants big impact, and he gets Zul, but he dies himself. So it's a 3 versus 2 now, and Zuna is falling as well. Only Kenma surviving, and he has no chance of escaping here. He's being jumped immediately. Kenma is about to go down, but he actually escapes because the Immortal helps out with a stun. So job well done here. 17.5 versus level 16, and we're seeing up to the top now, Kenma trying to get away. Everybody else is looking for him, but they didn't really think to look in that particular position. So really well done by Kenma escaping, but of course it doesn't really help the rest of his team. 13 versus 7 now in kills, and this is a big Immortal that is now starting to push the bot lane. Full shields nearly. That's 95% on the shields, and 16 versus 16 is finally there, but this is going to be a big push either way, even though they are a bit late and allow now a bit of a time window for Naventic to push the action. We're having a hardened focus taken. We're seeing Nerves of Steel, Concentrated Blast, Stone Form, and Dimensional Warp are being used here. And this is now the push. Shields are nearly gone on the other hand. Shields are nearly gone, but now there's the attack happening. And once again, Bloodlust is only on 8-second cooldown. They can use that again. Blizzard has reduced their cooldown recently, and it's really starting to show here. It's definitely starting to show. They will get that keep if they want it. They can commit to it again, but Thrall is a bit late to the party. He's finally there, and they decide to go for it. Yes, no, are they going to use it? They have the chance here. They have all their heroics up. They might not even have to. Here comes the Bloodlust. They're going in. They're going for the fight. The Poison Nova has been committed as well, and Erho is already low, jumping out. Zuna is also escaping. Sundering is trying to prevent that, though. The keep is down, and they can disengage now. But we still have Naventic trying to look for that battle. They still have a couple of their heroics available, especially the go for the throat and also the force wall. They're trying to isolate one of the heroes, and they're going immediately for Tyrande. Here comes the Rain of Vengeance, and the blow up against Zuna. He's down. Vala has kept that heroic up and is using it to save Tyrande and kill Sonya. Great play. Now it's Kenma that is getting obliterated, and that is an amazing situation. Fan locked down, good force wall, trying to delay them a little bit as they're going in for him. And also Erho about to jump out. Fan is jumping in, trying to go out. He wants to save Erho, but he's already a bit too late on it. And they want to go for the core right now. They want to finish the game. They want to make this a 2-0 victory and advance to face Cloud9 in the finals. We have them in a perfect position to do exactly that. Only Erho alive, only McIntyre, shields everywhere. But they go for core. They take down Tacita in the process. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be game. We will see Team Blaze against Cloud9 in the finals. A 2-0 victory. Well played. GG and congratulations to Team Blaze advancing now to the grand final of the End of the Storm North America.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is GG and the end of another series here on Color TV with Heroes of the Storm.
So once again, we have another video finished, and I hope that you enjoyed the commentary and that you liked the game, of course, as well. It was a pleasure casting the match for you. And if you guys really enjoyed it, then make sure that you give that video a thumbs up on YouTube. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, feel free to do that too. If you have friends that are interested in Heroes of the Sports esports scene, then definitely recommend the channel to them, or just show them the video if they want to see like a bit how the pros are drafting here, especially of course when it comes to the North American scene, European scene. And I mean, these days we even have a couple of Chinese games on the channel here, so I hope that you enjoy that as well. That being said, thank you very much for watching again. I'm going to see you guys next time with more Heroes of the Storm content here on the channel. Have a great day and enjoy your week, and see you soon. Bye bye.